Good morning, good afternoon. This is the Reserve Separations team talking to you. This is Sergeant Torres, myself, Sergeant Garzon. So these are just some steps that we do in the Reserve Separations. We do MS verifications for officers, conditional releases, which is our Form 368s for members that are assigned to the IR only. If the members assigned to the unit, we do ask them to contact their unit for have their conditional release. Duty status 28s, if the member's doing some kind of investigation or being separated, they send us a My Purse ticket and we do a transaction in the mail PDS. DD forms 256, which are discharge certificates for IR members only. If the member is assigned to the unit or is being discharged by the unit will be the ones that are doing the 256 for the member. Another things that we do in our reserve separations are fitness determinations. ARPC would process fitness only determination cases, which are non-duty related case, PEB cases, physical evaluation. We are the liaison for the member for cases that are pending or are going to get processed through AFPC. Please be aware that if the unit has any questions or are requesting any information, they have to go through their medical unit, which is the RMU, for any guidance or compliance or a status check. Units are responsible for keeping members' information current and throughout the whole process until the member has met all the boards or have finished the PEB process. Reserve sanctuaries. If a member has at least 18 years of satisfactory service but less than 20, they will be placed on sanctuary up only if they're against their MSDs or HYTs. So here's some examples. If the member has 18 years of service, they'll be given 3 years to complete their 20. If the member has 19 years of SAT service, they'll be given 2 years, and they'll get 1 year to complete the SAT service.
Hello. I'm going to go over some MSD extensions. All MSD extensions are considered exception to policies. The 14701 requests are for line officers. 14703 requests are for medical or chaplain officers. Only medical or chaplain officers can go past age 62, but they have to be with an approved MSD extension request. They can go up to age 68 max, typically. However, due to COVID guidelines right now, they can go up to, they can go past age 68. They have to be approved through staff on a case-by-case basis. Applications that will be sent to staff are for the following reasons. If AFR-CC disapproves the member's request, if AFR-CC approved a date other than the date the member requested, if the member has been twice deferred and is requesting an MSD extension, and then 12308s, all those still go up to staff for approval. If the AFR-CC approved the member's request and didn't change anything on it, then we will update MIL PDS first and then send it to staff so that the member's not waiting for that MSD extension to be approved. They're just waiting for that 12308 waiver or the over age 60 approval. Members only need 12308 waivers if they are past age 60 and also have 20 satisfactory years of service. Otherwise, they don't need a 12308 waiver. A lot of people think that if they are just over age 60, they need it. No, they also have to have the 20 plus years of satisfactory service. However, if a member has an extension request and is going to go past that date, then they will also need that 12308 waiver to be included with that extension request. Currently, we are only processing extension requests for ARTs that are over age 60, and if the ART is going from an ART position to an AGR TR position. We will eventually be taking over that process for all ARTs MSD extensions. We are in training for it currently, but have not taken over it, but that will be in the near future. This is an MSD extension cheat sheet. It shows where members are and if they need to be applying for an MSD extension or not. Any member that is a captain or a major, they will not have an MSD unless they have been twice passed over And in that case, it's going to be 20 years or 7 months from the SAF release date. For lieutenant colonels, it's going to be 28 years. And for colonels, it's going to be 30 years, unless they have, unless their MSD is based upon their age. And then in that case, it's going to be 60, and then up to 62. Anyone who needs just a 12308 waiver needs to be sending those to retirements. They do not come to ARPC reserve separations workflow. And then this chart is just for HYT extensions. When a member needs one, if they're over 33 years, then they can request extension up to 36 years or their 60th birthday, whichever one comes first. And then there's also the description of how to calculate it for ART members. We do those correct ART calculations here, but these are just guidelines for you guys to check on your own members. MSD HYT extension requests are submitted no earlier than 18 months and no later than 12 months prior to the member separation date. Typically, AGR's members will need to be outside those range because they have to ask for a 3-year extension for their tour. So those are kind of out of the window. Those are just case by case basis, and we just need to be notified, hey, this member's going to be going on an AGR tour, and that's why we're requesting it sooner than the 18 to 12 months prior to their MSD or HYT. Please ensure that their current MSD and requested MSD are correctly annotated on all memorandums. Sometimes they will be different or not listed at all. Fitness report should be up to date and not expired during the process. Even right now, during COVID, units can update them. They're just going to be considered exempt, which is fine. Just make sure that when you push those packages to us, that the members' previous fitness tests were actually passing, because that can be something that will hold them back. Members should be currently listed on the manning for the extension. So each one of these extensions are for a specific position. It's pretty much you saying, hey, I want to be extended. These are the reasons. This is my unit's reasons for needing me. So if the member is going to a new position, we're going to need to know that information. So the member because when we pull up the manning, we need to be able to see the member on the manning. If they're not there yet or going into a new position, that's fine. We can annotate that, but we just need to know that information in advance. In which case, we're just going to need to know the member's new position number, their AFSC that they're going to, their passcode, and what position it is, like if they're going to be a first sergeant. So then we can all annotate that correctly on the manning when we pull it, because otherwise they should always be on the manning unless they're going to a new position. Going to new positions, we need to make sure that all those memorandums that we get from the unit is actually approved by the unit they're going to. Lately, we've been seeing that a member will be at a unit and then they'll move to another unit, and they're not having those memorandums, the endorsements done by the new unit. So in which case we have to either go back to the unit and say, hey, we need you to contact the new unit and get the new endorsements, or go to the new, or have them contact the new unit and say, get a note, an email, MFR, whatever it is, saying, hey, we approve these endorsements. We don't need you guys to redo them. So just keep an eye out on that as well. We require the 3 most current EPR OPRs. If one is missing, let's say it's in coordination, just please let us know. Say, hey, their 2018 to 2019 EPR is missing. It's in coordination. We're good with that. We're good with one missing, but if there's more than one missing, then that's kind of an issue, because especially for traditional reservists who have their EPRs done biannually, if we're missing 2 of them, it can be 3 years since their last EPR. So please make sure that when you're sending these out, all the EPRs are current. And like I said, we'll take one that's missing, but other than that, we're going to say, hey, you guys need to close out this EPR. Make sure that in somewhere on the snowflake, on the member's request or the endorsements, it says what the member's duty title and position is. Sometimes we have to really hunt for those, and it just helps to have it in there to help us know what to put on your package. Please annotate any previously approved extensions on the snowflake. We also need that approval document from their previous extension that was approved. For unit level discharges, it's the unit's responsibility to create the discharge order, distribute it to the member, and provide a discharge certificate. If the member has a remaining obligation, please do not discharge them, but place them into the IRR. Members requesting an extension to their HYT MSD should not apply for a retirement prior to getting the final notification about their extension. So that's kind of a thing that we've seen a lot. A member will apply for a HYT or MSD extension, but then also apply for retirement. Unfortunately, the same system, and they don't talk to each other, so we don't know when you've done both until we accidentally retire you, and then we have to go through that whole process of correcting all the records if your extension gets approved or your extension gets put on hold because you're not in. So please make sure that if you are requesting an MSD HYT extension, do not apply for retirement. Per Title 10, 14509, we automatically push all officers whose MSD falls based on age, so age 60 to 62. We do this about 1 year prior to the member turning 60. So if your birthday is in November, we pull a roster for all members that just turned 59 or will turn 59 within the month of November, and we'll go ahead and push them out to age 60 if their MSD is based on the age 60. If it's based on your total federal commission service date, then we won't do that. Just the age 60. We'll push you out to age 62, and then you'll just request a 12308 only waiver, which will go through retirements. And if you have the 20 satisfactory years as well with that. Ensure all information in MyPERS tickets are completely filled out. Please also include the member's target social if you're submitting a ticket for someone else. Please ensure that you are calculating MSDs and HYTs for members coming from the Guard. When members come over from the Guard, they're not having a HYT or MSD, so it can be possible that they switch over to a reserve position and then they have to immediately retire because they don't qualify to stay in. So if you have people that are coming over, please, please, please double check that before they come over so that either they can make the right decision to stay in with their current Guard unit, or they're not going to have to just immediately retire because they don't have, in the Guard, they don't have a HYT, except it's going to be at their age 60 typically. Please ensure that you are sending SF50s and MyPERS tickets for ART HYT calculation requests. If we don't have those, we have to return them because we need the certain information that's listed on there to calculate those. Please do not contact us for issues for gaining members. That will have to be worked out with the losing unit and the gaining unit. We don't have anything to do with the gaining portion of that. VILPAD pre-separation paperwork is done at AFPC, so if you're having any issues, please contact them.
It can sometimes take up to 4 years for us to get a case from AFRC, so please ensure that somebody has constant contact with the member throughout the whole entire PB process. If someone's on leave, please let us know who will be taking over that process at the unit level. Sometimes we are unable to get a hold of the member, and we'll reach out to the units to contact them. We might need a first sergeant, CSS, or the supervisor. For members coming under ETS, please follow the below steps. The unit needs to contact the medical unit to check the status, in which returns the medical unit will contact us and check where the status is at. If the member is retirement eligible, the unit will need to assist the member on applying for retirement through MyPERS.